Yay,
All
thank you.
right. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Tuesday. My name is Hannah. I lead email and community at Growclass. So, if you haven't seen me poking around your inbox before, this is the face that goes with those emails. If you're not familiar with Growclass, we are a 6-week growth marketing course and community filled with founders, marketers, and freelancers. We teach folks the skills they need to grow their careers and their businesses. But today, I'm really excited to learn how to get more leads with Celi Arias. So Celi is a seasoned entrepreneur and a consultant with a proven track record of building and selling seven-figure businesses with a background spanning global fashion manufacturing, corporate experience in luxury sales, COO to tech startups, and a specialization in leadership performance. She brings a comprehensive skill set to guide her clients in building sustainable businesses. They not only overcome the struggles and pitfalls of entrepreneurship, but strategically scale their businesses while realizing their aspirations of impact and ultimately a bigger life. Super impressive. I honestly ran out of words saying all those things because wow, Celi. Honestly, really impressive today. I'm going to drop all of Celi's links in the chat for you. We have a worksheet for today, and you can connect with her on her website and on LinkedIn. I'll be dropping that in the chat. If you have any questions for Celi, we do have time for Q&A. So as we go through, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Use the hand up icon to ask your questions. Feel free to unmute yourself as well. If you are feeling a little bit shy, you can pop me a question and I'll ask it on your behalf. A reminder, there's no such thing as dumb questions. We're all here to learn, and this is a judgment-free zone. So as long as we keep it kind and respectful, we'll be all right. With that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Celi so we can learn more about, I just need more leads. How do I get more leads? Over to you, Celi.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. I'm reading all of your lovely notes in the chat because I want to make this as relevant to all of you as possible. So here's the drill. I'm Celi, by the way, like call your cell phone. If you don't follow me on the socials, follow me on the socials. Come ask me questions, pick my brain. It's fine. And I am the founder of something called the Growclass business after being a serial entrepreneur for 30 years, a fashion founder, a COO to tech startups, and an advisor, consultant, and coach to hundreds and hundreds of businesses. I was a former head coach at a coaching company, and now I have my own coaching company called the Growclass business. So we are going to talk about something that stresses everyone out today, and I want to make it as relevant to you and your businesses. Thank you. I'm really glad. My business name came from a funny conversation with a friend, and then I found out that Facebook considers that a curse word. And I was like, well, holy hot damn, I had no idea that was a curse word. Oops. Oh, well, I'll have to do it with asterisks or something. But the Growclass business is all about my years of growing and selling and coaching seven-figure businesses and finding out that many of the times I go in, how many of you are, there's one ops strategist here I know, going in, rolling up my sleeve, getting ready to fix the hard stuff. And it was always something basic and foundational. And I was always like, oh, what would this world look like if I just helped people's businesses get the foundation super solid? I would probably be out of a job. But that's what the Growclass business is and does. So this is a teaching that I have been teaching for a long time. You cannot throw me off, and there are no dumb questions. Sometimes the dumbest question turns into the best discussion ever. So if you want to unmute yourself and interrupt me, go ahead. It's all good. If you don't like unmuting yourself, just drop the question in the chat. If I happen to miss it, Hannah won't, because she's on it. So, and that's how we're going to play. Cool? Okay, amazing. And if you're like, what about me and my unique business? And I'm different because I'm a sparkly star butterfly. Please ask that question. Because we all think we're sparkly star butterflies, but the beauty of business is business is business is business. And that just means a lot of times you just have to find the right strategy for you and your unique business. So let's go. Okay. Why are you here? The big question, why are you here? Feel free to let me know in the chat because I'm guessing you're here because the presentation is called I Just Need More Leads and you want more leads or you want to know about getting more leads and you want some other marketing tool and marketing tactic, hack, tip, trick to get more leads. It's not what we're going to talk about today. What do you really want when you say you want more leads? Oh, well, that makes sense, Shannon, based on what you do. Yeah, got it. Shannon says she wants to recommend more lead gen for clients. Starting pre-revenue 0 to 1 for the first time. Ooh, fun phase to be in. I love it. You can DM me later, Christy, sorry. Oh, I love this. Sarah says it's easy to get leads for companies with big budgets. That's right. Today we're talking about things that do not have to do with big budgets or ads, but it's hard to do as an entrepreneur on a tiny budget. I hear you. Rebecca, I'm here because I've exhausted word of mouth in my city and need to build a bigger audience. Okay, I love that. I want steady freelance work. Creative ideas to bring back to my broader marketing team. Love it. What Rebecca said. Also steady freelance work. Okay, amazing. So when we say we need more leads, nobody said the magic word, which is money. We're so uncomfortable with saying that, right? It's so uncomfortable. But
No, I said it.
really, oh,
I
you
did
said
say
it?
it.
Did
I
I miss
said
it?
immediate sales.
Oh, I'm so sorry I missed it. Thank you
I
for the
mean, that
call
means
out. I
money to
appreciate it.
me.
Yes.
Money.
Money, 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 honey. Play the song. DJ? Nope, I don't have a DJ today. It's fine. Okay. We really want money. So the title of this talk is Trick, because we're going to talk about how to make more money in your business, because that's ultimately what you want. And yes, you're going to get tons of ideas for you content marketers on some things you maybe haven't done or your clients aren't doing to get more leads. Cool. So for my marketers in the room, you've seen this image 1,000 times. This is the traditional marketing funnel, and new audience will fix that. Okay, Rebecca, let's get you that new audience. Let's do it. I like that attitude. This is the traditional marketing funnel, right? We want to get all these leads up at the top of the funnel and we move them down a process and hopefully they buy and become a customer and we make money, right? Okay. Well, this image stresses me out. I don't know if the marketing funnel image stresses anybody else out, but it stresses me out. It makes me think of this game. I did just age myself. I did just say that I've been building businesses for 30 years, and I have, and I'm in my 40s. It's that Latina skin, honey. So this is a video game I used to play when I was a kid. Many of you have probably never heard of this video game. It's called Lemmings. And it's a little game of these cute little critters that get dropped into this world and you have to save their lives and fill in the gaps and save them from bombs and save them from all these things before they drop, and they make this horrible screeching sound when they die and it's like heartbreaking. So when I see the funnel in this position, I think of this feeling of, oh my God, my leads, I'm dropping leads, I'm losing leads, I don't have the right leads. And it's very anxiety producing because the game, as you got better at the game just got faster. And so it was like that video game that you played as a kid where you just like type faster, 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 faster. And that's kind of what we do with our marketing and our content marketing. And what that creates is a stress response and an anxiety response in our business. And then we can no longer be clear-headed about, well, where do I find those people? Where is my audience? What do I really need to do? This is actually about money. What is my 1 to 2 strategies that's going to kill it for me? Because we are actually playing this game. Okay? So this is what we're going to talk about. I like to think about the marketing funnel like a conveyor belt. It just already soothes my nervous system, calms me down if I'm not thinking about getting all the leads and dropping them in a funnel, but I'm thinking about the journey of walking somebody through a process. So all of my programs, all of my trainings always teach marketing, sales, and fulfillment or delivery in this way. From left to right as a conveyor belt, how am I actually meeting somebody, holding their hand and walking them through a journey, whether that's in my content, in these experiences, what have you, right? So here we go. And this is how I want you to think about this. Number one way to get leads, and we're just going to walk through this really quickly because it's really fun and obvious, but visuals help our brain process something. Over here, way out here on the left of your conveyor belt are hopefully, ideally, if you know who your ideal clients are, they're out there in the world, right? So somehow they hear about you through word of mouth or through some marketing campaign that you've done. Rebecca, thank you for understanding my anxiety about the game of lemmings, Rebecca. I appreciate you. So your marketing makes contact with somebody and hopefully, we went backwards, nope. They come into your world. They hear about you, they get recommended, they maybe saw you on social media on the off chance that the 10% of people in your audience that see your content actually see your content, right? So they're out here and then they come into your world through your marketing. If you're doing a good job then in your marketing and you have call to actions and you move them forward through a journey and you create a relationship, know, like, and trust, all those things, we're not going to get into it. Hopefully they go into a sales experience, whatever that is in your business, in your world. And if you do a killer job in the sales experience, they become a client, right? And you deliver. Now here's where it gets interesting. I can keep putting all my focus and energy way out here over on left field of getting more people to go through this journey, or I can do what with this person over here? Keep them, retain, yes, upsell, yes, or even ask for referrals and testimonials. Because here's what happens no matter what business you're in. Really fun thing happens. This is human nature. This person, I keep going backwards, goes and talks to their people, right? Fun story. Has anybody ever tried to fix a house before? It's a nightmare, right? Total nightmare. I bought this house, fixer-upper. I didn't know I got a fixer-upper, but I discovered it once we started to move in. Had a contractor. It was a hot mess. Luckily, I am 100% Argentinian. I speak Spanish. I went to the local community. I talked to some guys. I found another contractor. He saved my life, right? So I told some people. What that meant was all those people, I'm married to a Greek person. There's a whole Greek community where I live. I call them the Greek Coalition. All those people went, and I know if you know Greeks, you know the joke. I tell it to their face. It's fine. I'm not talking about them. All those people went and hired him to do all kinds of jobs in their houses and fix up their houses that didn't need fixing, right? And I was at a family lunch last summer, and somebody at the lunch of the Greek Coalition actually claimed having found him. And my husband was like elbowing me because he was like, this is like, you found him, you didn't. And I was like sitting there laughing. I was like, this is business at its finest, right? I'm sitting there at the lunch and somebody's boasting about how Minor is her guy and how he's fixed everything and they're doing this and this and this thanks to Minor. And I was like, this is kind of a beautiful moment. This is what business should look like. People should be fighting about how they found you. Because the truth is, we like to talk to our people. We love when we've had a good experience. We want our friends to buy the same hair cream that we bought. We want our friends to use the same web developers. Anybody? Oh my God. Because everybody has web developer horror stories. So including me. So when you found a good web developer, you're like, I want all my friends to have this experience, right? This is actually the easiest way to get more clients is be fabulous, be amazing, deliver on your promise, deliver a result. Sometimes when we are more focused on next content, the next algorithm thing that Instagram is telling me that I have to do, because if I don't do it and all my time and energy is sucked up in there, be fabulous. Create a referral system. Get your people to talk about you like the big thing. That is, I know it's obvious and basic, but we forget the basics and we forget to do the obvious. So I have to talk about this. Because what happens when you have a bad contractor or a bad web developer? I don't know about you, but I am that girl who writes a Google review. I am that girl. And my husband's like, don't be that girl. Don't be that. And I'm like, the people deserve to know. The people deserve to know the truth about this person. Okay. Does anybody do that? I'm like really righteous. And like, I went to school to be a pastor. So I feel like it's like my duty in the world to like tell the people. Okay. There are people out there like me. I will give you a 5-star review if you're fabulous. And I will give you a 1-star review if you were not fabulous. It's just how business works. Okay. So we can't, I know you guys are like, all right, already move on to the next slide. I know, but we can't skip this. This is human nature. If there's one thing you do today is go, how can I get my clients to talk about me? Even if I have one client, what can I do that would surprise and delight this one client in a way where they start talking about me in the other Facebook groups that they're in the other communities that they're in? Like, what could I challenge myself to do to be that one go-to person? If you look at my Instagram, my clients are die-hard fans. They're constantly posting about me. And that's just because like I literally show up like this every day in their face, like, let's go. What are we doing today? What are we dealing with? Right. And so they post and share about it. Okay. We get it, Celi. It's easier. It's ultimately skipping the line, less stress about the lemmings funnel, more getting clients. Okay. So where does growth really begin? Sorry, marketers, I love you. I do. I love you. But growth in business actually begins when you pay attention to your honeypot, which is what's happening inside your business. Marketing is really focused on what's happening outside my business, how the world sees me. But what's happening inside? I know all my operation strategists are really happy right now because you all know, right? I have 8-figure clients and 9-figure clients as private clients. And guess what we're always fixing? Some basic B shit that happens inside their business that's costing them thousands and thousands of dollars a day. Okay, so I know you don't believe me, but just take my word for it. my operations people in the chat are like, yep. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a list. We're going to go through 30 things, 30 tactical things that you can do to create more leads in your business. I promised, I said I would deliver, and I will deliver. And with one stipulation, you really only need to do 1 or 2 of these things off this list. So who are my type A overachievers in the room? Just raise your hand. Let me know. Let me see them. Okay, I'm calling you out. Don't you dare try to do all 30 of these things on this list. That was not the intention. Thank you for the head nod. I appreciate you seeing yourself, Nicole. I appreciate it. I do not want to add to the game of lemmings anxiety. The purpose of this training is what I want you to know is there are typically 1 or 2 things that are relevant to your business and your business strategy that you're not doing. And most likely you're not doing it because we live in a world filled with very powerful algorithms and guru business coaches with a lot of dollars behind them telling me that we have to do all these things. And actually what gets business to grow is typically you working through the strategy that's right for your business, your life, and where you're at. Okay? Do not get overwhelmed by this list. We are going to walk through it together. Hannah gave you a link to download this yourself. The worksheet, you can go there and download it, because instead of you taking screenshots of all of this and going, oh, I have to remember that and I have to remember that, don't worry about it. It's all in the worksheet. All 30 exercises are in the worksheet, and all my overachievers, I want you at the end of this to tell me the 1 or 2 things you're going to do. That's the rule, okay? Because it's 1 or 2 things. And I'll tell you mine and what I'm doing in my business. So, the list. Okay. I think there are actually more in this exercise now. I've added over time. But what I want you to think about, again, this is intentional. The key departments of your business that we all know about, marketing, sales, and fulfillment, there are things in each department that we can do. Not everything lead gen is about content and marketing. There are things that you can do inside your business to create more leads and more business. And so that's how this worksheet is broken down, is what are you doing in different parts of your business? This is what your worksheet looks like, by the way, so you don't have to look at it right now. We're just going to go through it. The way the worksheet is made is it's going to show you what department we're kind of speaking to on the sheet, and it's going to give you ideas to do within that department. If you're wondering, this is the more detailed, built out conveyor belt. This is what I consider the key pillars of business and what I teach in my program. So before marketing, and before you can ever think about marketing and do any marketing, is you have to understand product market fit. And this is one of the things I teach. Product market fit, then marketing, then sales, then numbers, then team and systems and automations and all that cool stuff, and delivery, right? This is how I teach it. And I want to talk about product market fit because everyone believes they avoid numbers, but I've found over the years, people actually avoid getting product market fit right. So product market fit, my definition of product market fit is having the right product for the right people at the right price. And that right price means it's the right price for your people, but also the right price for the profitability of your business. With the right messaging and positioning so that you can actually promote it with a business model that is right for your life. That's product market fit. This is one of the main core things that I end up teaching all the time in my program, because that's just a lot. I'm saying that this is a lot because we're doing a very watered down review of product market fit here, okay? But a lot of times, what I have found, and you guys can tell me if this resonates or not, and it's okay if it doesn't, what I find is that the reason we avoid product market fit is because we all want to believe our baby is the cutest. Right? I made a baby. Everyone's just supposed to like it. Right? Have you ever been in that experience where your friend has a baby and you're like, yeah, oh my God, you're so cute, it's a baby. We kind of want people to do that with our business. Yeah, it's okay. Some babies are ugly. They grow up and get beautiful. It's fine, right? But we want people to do that with our business, because the truth is, I don't know about you, but my business is my baby. Absolutely. Right? It's something that you created, that you channeled, or that you came up with after years and years and years of study and hard work and working for other people and making other people money. And then you finally went out and you built your own thing and you created your own thing. And the last thing you want in the world is somebody to give you feedback about your baby. This is why we avoid product market fit. Because one of the ways to make sure you got the right product for the right people at the right price, in a way that you can promote and a way that you can handle, is you got to go and get feedback. And you got to listen to your people. And everyone's like, no. This is my offer. This is the price. I'm putting it out there. I don't want to like actually hear it. So this is a space that I say this because we spend a lot of time in my programs on this, because we have to find ways to no longer avoid this and create the right product in the right price for your people in a way that they understand what you do, right? So here's how this list works. I'm going to go through this, and then I'm actually going to give you real life examples of clients who I've done this for. You're going to go through this and read through the options. That's an interesting one. Okay. You're going to read through the options and just be honest with yourself, temperature check. Have I done this? Right? If it's something that you haven't done, really haven't done or haven't done in a while, circle it. It may be one of your two that you have to go back and do. So for product market fit in this department, it's really understanding who your target audience is. If you don't know how to do that, do this thing I call voice of consumer interviews. I am the shortcut queen. I do not like pages and pages of avatar work that you'll never look at again. I am like, talk to your 3 people, interview them, ask them a few key questions, learn about what they want, what their pain is, and how they see you in the world. So conduct some interviews, record them on Zoom so that you're not putting words in their mouth, you're using their words in your future marketing and messaging. Is your messaging dialed in? Okay. Do you have a profitable offer? Are your offers and products, and if you have physical products, it's the same thing. Are your offers profitable to you and priced in a way that your clients can pay for? And then do you actually deliver on the promise? So you would go in and just write in here for yourself, who or what can I do in this particular box to optimize this one area, and by when? When am I doing it? That's all you have to do for yourself. Make a plan. So I'm going to give you an example. For every section, I'm going to give you a real life example. This is Dayton, Ohio. Lauren and Andrew from Dayton, Ohio. They have a video production company, and they came to me to work with me privately because Lauren was stepping into the CEO seat and she was overwhelmed managing their growth and their clients, and she wanted me to be more of an operations strategist and create the systems to manage growth. So I was like, sure. I'll do that, and I'll look at your systems and I'll build out your systems. But first, I have to do the thing that I do, which is my business audit, to really understand what's really going on and what the gaps are. And when I looked at their business and the way their business runs, they were actually, this is actually an exercise I do with my clients. It's the offer evaluation sheet. She actually went off the page because they had 14 variations of offers at different prices. And then when we looked at them, the whole list, she'd never done a calculation of all these offers that they're always offering. Are they even profitable? So when we did a breakdown of every single offer, it turned out that 2 of the 14 were actually profitable. And these 2 bigger offers were what was leveraging the whole business. And so it was a high 6-figure business trying to get to 7 figures, but she was feeling the overwhelm and feeling the burnout and feeling the like, I just need systems to help me manage all this growth. And I was like, no, you actually need the growth to be real growth. Because what happens when you're running a business where several of your offers maybe are selling, but they're not profitable to you? I know this because I did this as a fashion designer myself. What happens? Can anybody guess?
Well, you end up using too much of your resources with all of these bespoke offers that are not profitable. So you're all over the place. And then you need more team. You're like, oh, I need more systems. I need a bigger team. I need all these other resources. But for what? Because you haven't did the numbers. You haven't crunched the numbers to see if it's profitable. So
yeah, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a whole lot of work. You're working more than you need to be working. That feeling of overwhelm and stress, and I need better systems and I need more team because I'm so burnt out, is actually because you're selling things that you're working to deliver on that aren't making you any money. I ran a fashion line like this for 9 years. Trust me, I worked myself into the ground. So I know this one really well. So sometimes, remember I said what you really want is more money? You may not need more leads. you may actually just need to go back to your offers and make sure that you are honing in on 2 to 3 offers that are really profitable. And that's what I forced them to do with much resistance, but then they actually hit their financial goals. And you can actually look her up on social media. She's talking about how she's bored with life and trying to figure out what to do next because she has all this like time back. Okay. So what we did was we rebuilt her offers and made sure that they went back to all their clients, even new leads and current clients, and said, this is how we work now. You fit into one of these 3 offers, most likely. Which one do you want? But that put all their clients into these profitable packages. And it turned out, yes, we did a little systems work, but not at all what you would have thought. It was really about make sure that the work you're doing is profitable and not burning you out. Okay, I've beat the drum, right? We got this. Okay, amazing. So now the next section, we had to start at product market fit because I do think it's really important and everyone skips it. Now we're going to that honeypot place of fulfillment, okay? So here are some things to do in your fulfillment department or delivery department. Whether you have a product-based business or a service-based business, capture great testimonials, build a referral system, go to your top 20 raving fans. Are they consistent referral partners? Are they good people to upsell to? Do they have opportunities to partner with and work with them if they are raving fans? How can you partner with people who love you as much as you love them? Your current customers in the pipeline and current leads in the pipeline. Believe it or not, we often ignore leads in the pipeline, okay? Example number 2, this is Jordan Gill. She is the owner of System Saved Me. She's really big online right now, so you might have heard of her. And a few years ago, she and I worked together because for 2 to 3 years in a row, she kept ending at a certain high 6-figure mark every year. And so she was that feeling that we all feel, which is, I'm really great. I'm really smart. I have an amazing product. I've built an amazing business and an amazing team. Why can't I get to the 7-figure mark? Right? That's how she was feeling. So we dug in, and Jordan is a really interesting case study because on the surface, she's the girl who has everything, you know? The girl who has everything. Okay, sorry, can't help it. Couldn't help it, had to do it. On the surface, like, wow, website on point, calls to action on point, really clear who you are, clear what you do. You have a team. You don't work for, 50, 60 hours, like everything. I was like, okay, your lead conversion number doesn't make sense to me. So I have to dig into your sales process. She's like, no, I built my sales process myself. She is a systems guru. She built the Airtable herself and trained her team on it. There's no problem there. And I was like, okay, but nothing else is adding up. Everything else is really solid. I have to go and dig in. Sure enough, I pretended to be a client in their system. I DM'd them. I went in as a spy, and her team DM'd me once and then they forgot about me. And so when we went into the system to figure out what happened, the truth is the Airtable was probably a little bit too complicated for her team to really actually understand, but this is why I say there are no dumb questions. Nobody wanted to admit they didn't really, really understand the Airtable she'd built, number one. And number two, going backwards and doing the extra work of going back for old leads is a lot of work. And her salesperson just honestly didn't want to do it. So when we went into the Airtable and dug into all the people that had kind of at one point raised their hand and said they were interested, but they got dropped, there were 927 leads in her pipeline. And we had this lovely conversation because I was like, you now have to go follow up with these leads. And if you know Jordan, she was like, absolutely not. I am the like work from bed, keep it easy, keep it like, 20-hour a week work week max. And I was like, I hear you and I know we got to come up with a clever way to follow up with these leads, because every year you're ending your year around 600K, and guess how much money is in your pipeline? If we close this percentage of the 927 leads, you will have on her beanbag, exactly. You'll have that 7-figure business. So I say this to say, there are probably people that you've talked to at some point or connected with at some point, and then you go on about your life and go on about your business and you don't follow up with them. And most often we don't follow up with them because we feel uncomfortable and it feels awkward to follow up with people. That's really what's happening. But if you're like, yeah, I don't have a cool Airtable like Jordan, and I don't have all these leads that we're capturing from DMs and lead magnets and all these things, cool, I got you. You know, I have another example of this, right? Exactly. I wasn't going to leave you hanging. Example 2.5. My friend Ruth Olson here. This is her fancy system and lead follow-up system. It's on her mirror in her bathroom, so it's in her face. Ruth is someone who had a particular type of business and then had a pregnancy that she was not planning on having, so could no longer do the kind of traveling that she did for some of her high-end sales coaching clients, that she would travel and go to there. She was like, oh, business has got to change because my life is changing. And this is her lead system. She's an excellent sales and mindset coach. She is not a systems person. And this is literally to this day how she figures out who she's talked to and how she followed up with them and how she had a high value conversation and converted them to a client. Okay. I know it's tempting to look at the Jordan case study and go, well, I don't have. I hear you, but you have a mirror and you have Post-its. Yes? Amazing. Me too. I do. I have a really fancy CRM, but I still put my high-end private clients on Post-its on my wall because I like seeing their names on the wall and I like having the energy in the space. Okay. Moving on. Now we are moving a little bit fulfillment, team, and systems. If you guys have questions, you know to stop me. Inside fulfillment.
Excuse me, Celi.
Go for it.
Thank you. I just had to just take this moment and ask how to follow up on these old leads. Like it is uncomfortable, and I have a few because we are a brand new business. And when we were starting, people were really interested and really, I got really overwhelmed because yes, I do 80% of the work and my partner who already had a full-time job already said, I'm not going to be able to hold you down through this process. And so we had large organizations or just people who were really passionate about what we do. And then I just kept beating the drum and going forward, trying to get, just the attention. And so the people who were really supporting in the very beginning, I'm trying to figure out a way right now to reconnect with those people, capitalizing on holidays or the seasons changing, saying happy spring, happy new year, happy this. This is what we've been up to. But do you have any, kind of information you'd like to share on that?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. And here's how I don't know what type of business do you have? I have an idea just based off what you said, but
Sure. A dialysis to the docks, and we offer free sailing excursions to chronic kidney disease patients and dialysis patients. Right now, our clients have developed to be large medical practices, insurance companies, even, and dialysis clinics who are interested in giving their patients an outdoor excursion to relieve stress, also to relieve depression, and to also educate the greater public on how they can meet these specialized health industries, educate themselves, and look into possibly being a living donor, look into just volunteering,
okay.
look into, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So here's what I would say. here's what I would do, but I'm also just based off of your business. What I'm going to say, I don't know if anybody else noticed this. This is a coaching moment. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is how I roll. Audience participation. Who heard a really interesting, very unique niche business just described? That's a very unique offer. That requires a very unique, personalized niche way of following up and reaching out to people. Not a spring newsletter, here's what's going on. Because for me, this is what I do anyway, still to this day. Regardless if you see me on all the contents, I am very intentional. I follow up with people one-on-one. And I offer them free strategy consults, free, hey, check out this lead magnet, check out this interview I did. We talked about something you and I talked about the one time we had a call. What I made Jordan do, which I didn't go into detail, she actually used a tool called Bonjouro, and this was 2 years ago now, and now there's all kinds of newer tools. She sent each person that had at least gotten to the application stage in her process, she sent them a personalized video message. This is why she was like, nah, girl, I'm not doing that. And I was like, yes, girl, you are doing that. Okay. One of the ways, follow-ups, please DM me, follow me on social media. We can voice note about it. And I will give you some ideas. But to me, following up is an art. And thank you, ManyChat and AI and all these things that create automation. Your superpower is going to be human.
Yes.
And follow up as a person. Go to their office. Called all the stuff that makes us uncomfortable. The reason that AI and automations and ManyChat and ChatGPT and funnels and all this stuff is blowing up is because it removes us from feeling possible rejection. This is a whole other conversation. I could do a whole other teaching on this, okay?
Can I just ask a question though?
Yes.
I agree conceptually with what you're saying, that especially, for these smaller companies, the referral and the direct is really super important. But when you're also doing everything and it's so time consuming. So how do you balance that?
Oh, that's a whole other question. That would take the rest of this call, my friend. We'll just chat. Let's just chat about it. You send me a DM. We'll chat about it. I think that there is a place, and this happens to me, and probably everybody on this call. There's a place where you need to have a bigger business strategy, and you have to decide where your focus and your time and energy goes. Right? I will give you a really personal example because I teach, this is my style, I'm very transparent. I'm currently in launch mode for the next round of my group program. And last week, my website went down. And on Saturday, when all my emails were going out about it, my CRM decided to go down, which means I couldn't email everyone about the roundtable I'm doing next week and all the things you're supposed to do when you're launching a group program. You can either panic or you can go back to your strategy and go, oh, what can I do? Oh, and I just emailed my top 20, my top 20 raving fans, and emailed them personally. It was like, here's how it's going to play out this time. Here's my referral. Let's just do this manually. 200, and they get a financial incentive for referring someone, or they get a free strategy session with me, which is worth $700. I just went manual and then I let it go, went on about my life. And just trust, because you're right, we can't do everything. So the beauty of having a strong strategy that's for you and your business is that you can look at what am I doing right now and what am I doing this week and how much time do I have to put towards. So she just told me, don't send out a mass email about this thing. How much time do I put on my schedule to send up some really personalized follow-ups. It might be 2 hours on a Monday, but if they're intentional, they could be high value. And I also have I have a rule about follow-ups. I follow up with a person 3 times. And after on the 3rd time, I'm like, this is your bless and release email. I bless you and release you. I understand it may not be the right time for us to work together. I send you all the love and good vibes, but I don't say this, but energetically, I can't be holding on to all these leads in my head. So after I don't follow up with people forever. I let them go. But that is a whole other conversation. Please DM me and we can voice note about it and chat through some ideas of how to manage that. Okay, because if not, we are not going to get through this and Hannah's going to kill me. Hannah, don't kill me. Team and systems and fulfillment. Create an affiliate partnership. I just gave away how I created my referral partnership. No fancy tech, no nothing. I just email my people and say, here it is. Here's a link to the page. You know what to do. Here's a form to send me people. It's very simple. Following up with past leads, creating strategic partners. Strategic partners who are people who don't do exactly what you do, but there's some kind of overlap. JV partners, reduce refunds. You got to say it. If you have a refund business, look at why that's happening. So an example of JV partnerships. This is a client of mine, Nikki. He actually is a lead gen AI expert. He creates leads for people. And one day he came to me and said, I don't really want you to coach me or talk to me about any business stuff or mindset stuff. I just need more leads. And I said to him, Nikki, you do understand the irony of you, of all people, saying, I just need more leads because that is your business. And he said, yes. And I literally told him, I'm going to name a training after you. So he is the inspiration for the naming of this training. One of the things that he did was that he avoided for a really long time. And I suggested, go to your school and post on the job boards and post in the alumni boards the business that you're doing right now and who it could possibly serve. And he resisted doing it because, long story short, he is a serial entrepreneur, his other ventures failed, and he was embarrassed to even talk about and share this new venture. But when he finally did, he created some JVs, which are joint venture partnerships, which means there's either a revenue share or a pay after you get results. He created a lot of those types of partnerships with people who were in businesses that needed his services. And that created even more and more leads through that network. So sometimes the point is you have access to just being active in a certain network that you haven't even thought about. Like if I think about it, I don't think my classmates know what I do. And that's something I could do that I haven't done, for example. So there's a lot of ways to create JVs and partnerships, referral partnerships, and networking in places where you haven't been giving any love or attention to. Okay. And now, classic marketing channel that is intentionally last. Write wonderful nurture sequence newsletters. Do an event with your ideal target audience, online or offline, like this one. Ask for warm intros to speak in front of other people's communities and teach. Podcasts, please know podcasting is a long game. I just have to say that, but speaking on stages is really popular right now, and podcasting is really popular right now. Those are a long game. I have to put that on here because it's not what you're being sold that it is right now. Focus on one marketing channel at a time. I know we're all being told to be everywhere all at once on every single channel, but I promise you, if you figure out where your people are most active, it will reap rewards. I actually feel like I should take my own advice more often. This is Stacy. She's a revenue growth architect, very similar to me, operations background, does revenue growth and problem solving and strategy system solving for really big companies. And she decided to just go all in on LinkedIn after doing my program. And she was badges galore, teaching at NASDAQ, teaching for American Express, guest panel here. I was like, Stacey, how are you suddenly, she's not even like a super visible person. I was like, how are you doing this? She's like, oh, I just did what you said. And I was like, what did I say? She said, focus on one channel. And I was like, damn it, I should take my own advice. So I know it's not sexy because it's so sexy to be on every social channel. But I promise you, you can look her up. Stacey is crushing it over on the LinkedIn. And it's because it's the one place she makes content and the one place she focuses. And she just spoke on an American Express panel to her ideal audience last week. And I'm like, I want to speak on that panel. How do I get in there? Okay, so I know it's not sexy, but you don't have to actually be on all the socials doing all the things that the algorithm is trying to get you to do because they actually want you to spend more time on their app because it makes them more money. Okay, I said it. All right, we're moving on. I'm going really fast now. You have all of these in your sheets, but retargeting a warm audience with calls to action, targeted PR, which is podcasts, video interviews, LinkedIn Lives, Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives with people, with partners, engaging hot leads, networking events, create a freebie and share it. Talk to your friends and family and community. Do they know what you do? My family and friends and community don't really understand what I do, by the way. And I'm pretty vocal about it. So there's probably people around you who have no idea what you do. Do an email list swap to grow your email list. Go to an event where your leads hang out. Believe it or not, I am a mega introvert and this one's really uncomfortable for me. And I'm going to 2 events this week in New York City because I live outside of the city now. And this makes my skin crawl. So if I can do it, deep breaths, you can do it too. And I'm not saying go to an event where all of the people like you are. I'm saying go to an event where the people who need you are. Okay? So don't go, if you are a copywriter, don't go to a copywriting event. If you are a podcaster, don't go to a podcasting event. Don't go hang out with your friends. Make yourself uncomfortable and go to a room where the people that need you are. Like I have to go to small business bureau stuff and go to like accountants gatherings because accountants get asked strategy stuff all the time, but they're not strategists. Web developers get asked strategy all the time, but they're not strategists, right? If you need ideas on what's a good sister industry for you, DM me. I will brainstorm with you. Okay, this is my other lovely private client, Miss Brittany, known as Trap Yoga Bay. Similar kind of story. Sometimes some people have a huge audience, and without clear messaging and clear call to actions, that audience doesn't really know what they do. This is a class, believe it or not, she's now even bigger. But when we worked together, her audience just followed her because she's fun to follow, but they had no idea what her offer was. Long story short, we got better at talking about what her program is. She's a confidence coach, but she wasn't even saying that. And we just created a very simple system of following up with people in the DMs and getting them on sales calls. And she's crushing it. You can go find her on the socials and you'll be like, yes, she is actually crushing it. The other thing that we did was she hated her numbers. She hated looking at numbers. So as you can see, when I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she writes me these texts of giving me reports on her numbers. That's kind of an inside joke in my programs because sometimes I really do just text people to be like, how are you? And they give me like a numbers report. But that's because you got to know your numbers. Okay. So the secret to more leads and more money is having the clear strategy for you, implementing on it, and working on your mindset. We did not get into mindset today, but as a certified mindset coach, I just want you to think about these reframes. When you say, I just need more leads, okay? Now I want you to catch yourself when you're saying something like that and say something like, actually, I have one great referral to start the ripple effect. I have one person out there who's willing to refer me to their network. I don't know how. Now this is an old one. I have 30 new tools to try. I have this whole document that I'm going to go down and I have 30 possibilities of things to try in my business. I don't know who. I don't know who is my audience. I don't know who to talk to. Believe it or not, fun fact, everyone has 30K to 200K within their network around them. They just don't know it. We do this fun thing in a mastermind that I'm in. Believe it or not, you could say the craziest, like if you have an idea in your head of, gosh, I want to be on Jenna Kutcher's podcast. If I were to say that in this room of 25 other powerful entrepreneurs, somebody in there will know somebody of somebody that they can introduce me to that will eventually get me straight to the front of the line to get on Jenna Kutcher's podcast. We just don't do that enough, and we don't say that enough. There is value in your network, but I promise you, you're not talking about what you do and what you need and what you'd like to receive. You're not asking because we're taught not to ask. That's a whole other conversation. I need more cash. I wonder what the fastest, lowest hanging fruit on this 30 steps document is. Okay. This is my full framework. We're not talking about that. Here is the link again, which Hannah already gave you, to this sheet so that you can go through this list. And I want you to tell me, because we're running out of time and I want to be respectful of your time, what are the 1 to 2 things from this whole list that you're going to try? And also, if you have questions, go for it. But I want to know, tell me in the chat, what's the 1 or 2 things that you're realizing I probably need to go do that one thing that makes me uncomfortable, or that I don't want to do, or that I haven't done yet. Ooh, good. Asking for testimonials and referrals. I love that. An affiliate program. Ah, yes. Network where I'm not comfortable. I'll be right there with you this week. Joint ventures. Yes. Networking at outside events. Awesome. We're all going networking together. It's going to be great. Cool. Amazing. Any questions? I know we went through the last slides really fast. Questions, concerns, snide remarks, go for
Can
it.
I ask a question?
Of course.
And if it's not appropriate or we need to take it offline, I'm happy to do that. As I listened to your strategy, it was excellent, but made the assumption that there's a funnel and that there's leads that are untapped. What if it's a new emerging area of business for you, or a pivot to what you've already always done? How do we even create that funnel? And is maybe networking is the part of it that, you know, would help with that. But again, I did pose the question and probably articulated it a little clearer in the discussion, but I didn't want to interrupt what you were getting through. So I can certainly take this offline.
Yeah. I have many thoughts. What's the business? What is the pivot that you're?
So less marketing, more communications. Could be anything from content creation to developing strategy to tactical execution. Yeah.
So you have people that know you for marketing. You're focusing on communications.
I really like this concept of the 20 hours from my bed. That's where I'm at.
You're like, Jordan Gill, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I'm coming for your queendom.
Just that
I'm taking
ethic.
that crown.
No, I just love that model of behavior. So do it from my home, remote, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So the reason that I want you guys to just observe this, the reason that I ask you what your business is and what you're doing is because I do not believe in cookie cutter strategies. And I don't believe that I can answer if somebody else were to ask that same question, it's Bhavisha, right? I would answer it differently. So please know that you all deserve to have a custom strategy built for your unique business. How I'm going to answer that for you is one of the easiest things you can do is if you already have a network of people that know you as this, what I would first do is, instead of going, oh no, I have to create a whole new pipeline. No, you don't. You need to tell the people who already know you in a really exciting way, hey guys, oh my God, I have found my path and my passion, and I am so excited to share with you what I'm doing now. This might be of interest to you. And if not, let me tell you who it's for. You should see my referral emails. If you guys DM me, I'll send you my referral email. In my referral email, I go, just a reminder who this is for, what they're usually feeling, where they're stuck, and how I help. If this doesn't sound like you probably know somebody who might need this. Boom, you just created a pipeline for your new offer. We're never starting from scratch, actually. That's just your brain playing tricks on you, and your brain loves to play tricks on you. It's a whole other conversation. You're never starting from scratch. I just had one client who was focused on only closing these huge content deals for big companies, but it required her to hire a whole team and kind of become an agency in herself. But she's bad at managing people. She's a bad project manager, and it would always get into trouble. And so we created a whole new offer of like just her showing up in just her genius for a much lower price point. And she was panicked because she was like, I don't have a pipeline for this. I'm like, yes, you do. There are tons of people who think you're brilliant and couldn't afford you at the 40K, 50K price. But if you email a bunch of people and go, I did this crazy thing, I've created a $1,000 offer that you and your people can get in on. Now you're out in the world telling people what you're doing. So we make it complicated because our feelings and our ego and our beliefs get all messed up in there. But step one, just start telling people what you're doing now and what you're building, what you're creating. And then you get 1 or 2 clients, and now you've started your pipeline. I left a full-time head coaching position at a really bro-y firm because they didn't want to acknowledge mindset as a part of business strategy. So I created my own thing. And when I left, I couldn't even poach any of those clients because of my contract. I had to start from zero. It took me no time because the clients who loved me there, they couldn't work with me, but they referred me to other people. And I just started with literally 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients. And then over time, I was like, oh, wait, I created my own framework. And then in my second year of business, I created a group program. Like if you take the steps and you don't let your mind mess with you, that's the ticket, right? Don't let your mind make you believe you don't have leads and you don't have a pipeline and you have to start over. If you don't listen to that voice and you just keep going, before you know it, you're like, oh, now I'm a communication strategist and that's what everyone knows me as. That's kind of awesome. And whenever anybody comes to me and says, oh, I'll come to you when I'm ready for operations, I don't take that as a diss. I take that as a crap, I'm not doing a good job of telling the world what I do. Oh, I got to get better. I got to go look at my messaging. I got to make sure that on every channel, it's clear what I do. I'm not offended by that person or going, oh no, another one lost. I go, oh no, where'd you see that? I haven't been an operations strategist for like 5 years. So are you just not seeing my content anywhere? Am I not saying it enough, what I do? I'm a business growth strategist that helps 6-figure businesses get to 7 figures. I'm no longer a private operations strategist who comes in and fix your systems, right? So it's not even a feedback is a beautiful thing because then I get to go, ooh, okay, good feedback. Thank you. Where did you see that? Where can I fix this? The more we make it about us, the harder we make it. Cool.
That was great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. We think we don't have a pipeline, but we do. Other questions? Also, I'm here for all the resistance. If you're like, I don't like that strategy and I'm not doing it, I'm here for it. I can handle it. Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad I gave you lots to think about. Amazing. Thanks for coming, Nicole. Okay, Miss Hannah, I tried.
All right.
I tried to keep it to an hour. We did it.
That was great though. Thank you so much, Celi. Learned so much from this talk. I know folks are definitely soaking it all in because yeah, it's a lot. So thank you for sharing your expertise with us today. I dropped all of Celi's links in the chat for you. This is recorded, so I'll also drop the links in the replay email as well. So don't worry about that. I'll be in your inbox soon. Thank you for joining us today, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Take it easy. Bye.